So, of course, after tonight's crazy episode, y'all know I had to talk to the messy queen. I love me some Tiffany Whitlow. And I want you all to welcome her to her first ever Reality with the King podcast.
Thank you for having me, Carlos. Thank you for always setting me up for that bullshit.
Everyone's talking about tonight's episode, what happened, but I want to rewind just a little bit. So, Raindrops, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel and hit your notification button so you don't miss an episode. So, Miss Tiffany, you are on Love and Marriage Huntsville, the #1 show on the network. And when I was looking for new people to bring in, I was receiving tons of casting tapes of people. And I think I told you this story, but I'll say it again for you and for the Raindrops listening. I was on a flight watching casting tapes for Love and Marriage Huntsville. And when I came across your tape, I was like, oh, this woman means what she says, and she says what she means. And I called Angela. I was like, we need to get with Tiffany, baby.
Oh, no.
Did you know that story?
I love it. I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity. This has been a roller coaster. I actually used to not like roller coasters, so this is a lot. So right here, right now. Yeah, I just give the people what they've been asking for.
And what is that, Tiffany?
Honesty, transparency. Stop. You can't act like that. You can't do that.
You make me holler. But that was the reason why I wanted you to be on this show, because this show started off with 3 couples who have history. And I've said this in nauseum that they know a lot about each other, and they may say a lot about each other, but there's a whole lot they will never reveal. And I respect that in terms of being real friends. And I think at the end of the day, you can say what you want about them. There's a friendship there. So when you started to film, I appreciated the fact that you called things how you see it. And to me, you were the eyes and the mouthpiece of the audience. Like, well, I don't get that. Well, that don't make any sense. You should be more like this. You came across very honest. People thought you came across strong, but talk to us about your experience, your first season on the show, because you're being yourself, but a lot of people felt like, oh, she's being messy.
Yeah, so I feel like you kind of just said it. People actually really had questions. They saw something, they saw these relationships unfold, they saw these businesses scale, but they still had questions. And so here I come to ask the questions. Maybe it's the way I ask questions. Maybe it's like the way, because I just ask whatever just comes to my mind without any edits most of the time. That really upset people. But my DM started blowing up with people who did not like me asking questions. They liked the fact that they knew the information, but they did not want me to come at Mel. They didn't want me to come at Tisha. They didn't want me to come at Kimmy. And so it wasn't the fact that I was coming at them. It's just odd. Like, see, you have 6 people and then you add 2 more and you don't actually do anything to add those 2 more. Like, those people weren't hanging out with us. We weren't texting them at night. And so it was kind of like show up for work and then now you get to know each other. Like, we get to know them in front of the camera.
Yes.
And there was nothing else beyond that. And of course, we knew them from around town. I've known Marceau since he was managing the movie theater. So we knew them from around town, but not in this capacity. And I think it was just odd. It was odd. It was 100% odd for me.
Would you say it's still odd for you, or do you feel like you found your groove with this cast?
I feel like I found my comfort. So I no longer care in that same capacity about what other people think.
When you were on your first season, we talked about this on your first reunion, how, and listen, and I think Stormy's going through this now, when you are a new cast member, people they have strong opinions and they don't like change, and it's fine. I'm a producer and I produce.
Fine for those who are not going through it.
Right. So that is very true. So that's why what's interesting is we love to talk about mental health and protecting people's mental health. But then and when I say you, I'm meaning these haters, because they're not fans, because fans don't harass and hate on others. Is these haters who then are mentally abusing you by going into your comments, talking about you, and they do it to others. Talk to me about your first season and how challenging it was, and did you want to come back after that?
No, because the relationships between people in my real life were impacted. So people who knew me knew that I was going through something, questioning myself. They're like, why are you questioning yourself? Why do you care what these people think? They don't even know you. They don't know the real you. We know the real you. Why are you questioning yourself? So even my friends started to like get almost tired of me telling them the stories over and over again, where people were like, you should, I mean, my kids read this hate mail, like, you should die. You should go jump off of a bridge. I mean, like, extreme things like that are really said. And so my teenage boys, this more so now, like this season, coming full circle, they're like, Mom, don't care what anyone else thinks. Like, just care what we think. Don't wear that. Don't do that. I don't care if they want you to do not do that. And that's all that matters. Like, as long as they're good, we're good, Ace is good, I think it's okay moving forward. I know that other cast members go through the same, like, I mean, it's almost like being hazed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. And so you really believe that those people who, when they see you in real life, that's the real reaction. Then, like you kind of just said it, those are haters. I will give them credit for being viewers, because obviously they give you the views if they watch in the episode. You know,
I love all my audience. I love people who love to watch the show, and I love people who hate watch it. If anything, continue watching it. It doesn't affect us in any kind of way.
Yeah. So now my reactions I get now are more so, I see myself in you and Lewis. I see real people. I know everyone else is like all doing the most, and y'all just continue to like show up as you. And I appreciate that. I was just on the airplane, big, 200+ pound man, like, came to me and was like, oh my God, my wife and I sit down. We never miss an episode. Like, these people know you're on the John Deere tractor. Your dog's name is Diamond. Like, I love it. I love it. They're like, we see us. Like, I had the same background. I was adopted. Of course, that's a whole, factor for me. So, honestly, Carlos, I appreciate the opportunity. I'm going to continue to be messy, ask the right questions. And you know what? When y'all have questions, just send me a DM. Yeah, I'll go ahead and throw all y'all's questions into. Okay.
This is what people don't know, and I want people to quote me on this. Tiffany is the voice of the viewer. And when I say that, I mean like I said to you earlier, the original the core six, they have history. They know things. They won't expose everything. They may expose some things. And again, I'm cool with that. It's fine. But they do protect each other a lot. Okay? Cool. I respect it. You are the only person that's able to challenge the thought process. Like, well, I don't understand that. And although people think you come across strong, I knew that what this show needed was somebody coming in, questioning what they were watching, because at that time, I wasn't hosting the reunion. And even so, I host the reunion. I only have 2 episodes to ask all the questions. But by that time, the season has ended. So you are the voice of the audience by saying, like, wait, I want to challenge this. We're seeing a lot of that this season. Honey, the spa night with you and KeKe and Stormy. And again, a lot of the viewers felt, not you meditating.
Yeah, everyone has
this is a good example. A lot of viewers felt that KeKe, if you can go against your family, then you will go against me and anyone else. But of course, none of the others are going to say that. You actually said what the audience was thinking and saying on Twitter. You said, look, I don't know you like that. What I'm saying is the way you treated Tisha, who's your family, I won't trust you with nothing because I am not a family member. So I can only imagine what you're doing. Talk to me about that whole scenario.
It says a lot about your character. The scenario, what really happened, and I'm not sure that it was really aired like this. Stormy and I walked in the room at the same time. And when we walked in the room, they were literally talking about Stormy. And this is just how it is, okay? I sit down next to Stormy and KeKe sees me and is like, oh, pivot the whole conversation. Fuck everything I just said about Stormy. Let me go pivot and talk about Tiffany. Like, what? And what she was saying made no sense. Like, we're still going all the way back to Mel's house Christmas 500 years ago. And when they were having whatever this conversation was about Tisha, I was absent. I wasn't even in the conversation. So I'm a very matter of fact kind of person. Like, I know what I'm talking about. You're actually coming at me about something that in this respect had nothing to do with me. But it's really freaking cute that you can't keep my name out of your mouth.
So. What do you think KeKe's real issue with you is? What is it that you think?
Oh, I'm gonna be so nice.
No, be honest. What is it? What do you think?
I think some people just will do anything to be relevant.
Are you alleging that KeKe is trying to be relevant on Love and Marriage Huntsville and she'll do anything for relevancy?
I am saying what other people already know. I mean, really, and I really try. I actually sit around thinking about what I can do to modify my thought process as it relates to her. But I don't have people and friends in my life that make no sense. Like, what do you do? Why are you here? Why do you want to argue with the wall? Like, are we better than that? Are we? We are. Are you?
We also saw tonight that KeKe. You know what? Before we get into tonight, we got to talk about Melody's tea party.
Oh.
Okay. So that was, listen, I love a good old tea party where you actually spill tea. I think it's a genius idea. I love a tea party. So with that being said, here you are. At this time, you're like 9 months pregnant.
Yes.
But you have the mouth of a newborn. Tiffany doesn't give two Fs. So KeKe felt once again to address, KeKe has her eyes set on you this season.
I mean, she might have been lesbian at some point in life. I don't know. Like, listen, I just don't even understand. I'm telling you, like in the spa night, her whole conversation and body language, everything just pivoted. She saw me. She's like, everything I'm going to say from now on is going to be about Tiffany.
Well, maybe she didn't think a 9-month-old pregnant lady can still cuss like a sailor and check a bitch. So that's what you did, baby.
Yeah, I snapped, like snap. Why? Ugh, it's that relevancy. And like, I just believe she wants to be relevant. I mean, Tisha's already given her platform. Why can't come on, bitch, execute. I can't. You set me up for these things. You do. You do.
Now y'all see why I love you some Tiffany Whitlow. Okay.
No.
No, listen. I tell people all the time, I love some Tiffany. I really do. Okay. So going back to Melody's tea party, KeKe sat across from you and had this whole diatribe about you knowing her or not knowing her. She said that her kids played at Lewis's on his team and stuff like that. And she was really saying that you are trying to go around as if you don't know her, but you really do. What do you have to say about that?
Ooh, it's my husband. Am I going to get in trouble with my husband? I have to say that being in relation, like knowing, having a friendship or relationship with someone is different than knowing of someone. That's like me saying, I know every one of my Facebook fans. Like, I do not know them. I appreciate them, but I don't actually have a relationship with them. I don't know their dog's name. I didn't know her kid. I didn't even know she had a kid. Her kid's name is Ace. I had no idea. Like, so I knew her son. They came on the team late. I saw her at a tournament. I think I like saw her jumping a fence because she didn't want to pay the fees to get in the game. And then I'm so sorry, Lewis. Do not get mad at me for saying and then that was it. All the other parents and the team, we all went out to eat. Like Lewis and I paid for all the kids' food. They were nowhere to be found. They were like over in another booth on another side. They didn't even talk to us. So no, I wasn't. Then there was another tournament where, yes, I think I remember meeting her mother. Like that is what coaches' wives do. You meet and you mingle with the family. But I didn't go to their house. We didn't like go hang out. Me and some of the other moms went out for drinks. She wasn't there. So no, I just wasn't in relation like with her like that. I just wasn't. I couldn't tell you what position her son played. I couldn't. It's just this is the relevant.
Honey, I'm still stuck that you said KeKe allegedly hopped the fence because she didn't want to pay.
Look, I'm gonna tell you who's gonna be dying laughing. Nat, Lou's baby mama. She and our friends. She gonna listen to it. I mean, I know she did not say.
I am done. I'm done because you're foreshadowing, but we'll get to that later. Okay, so did you get offended when KeKe made the comment that at least I know who my father is?
Absolutely, that's offensive. Would anyone else who is adopted and she openly knows the situation, knows that I was seeking to find my biological father, say something like that? Anyone who knows the situation would understand that she was being shady. Now, if that was me who said some shit like that, I would have been tossed under the bridge. Like I would have been done for. But she gets away with it.
Do you think she got away with it? You mean in terms of social media? Do you think she got away with it?
Oh yeah, I think she got away with it 100% on social media. But I mean, even in the moment, it was kind of like, oh, I didn't mean it like that, but you just said it. And you just a few weeks ago were like, I was offered to help you find your biological father. You just said that. So which one is it? You know or you don't know?
Kimmy did defend you by saying to KeKe that no, that was definitely offensive. And if you don't think that was offensive, so when you say she got away with it, do you think your castmates would have read you for filth if you said that to anyone and KeKe got a little pass by saying it?
I think 100% Kimmy stood up for me in the moment. I think 100% if I would have said that, all of them would have jumped down my back. All of them would have jumped down my back. Like, oh, you wrong, you wrong, you wrong. So 100% KeKe got away with it. I mean, Mel is her friend and, teaches her cousin. So maybe it's just a keeping it within the family thing.
Interesting. I never looked at it that way, but I do see your point.
You're like, but I do believe they would have thrown you under the bus if you said shit like that.
Because history has shown basically on your first reunion when I felt like everybody was like, on the Tiffany train of like, no, you did X, Y, and Z. So I now see your point with that. So that'll be very interesting to talk about at the reunion. So I'll leave it alone for now. Emphasis on for now. Okay. So then tonight, we saw the continuation of that happen, where here you are at Martell's party, you and your belly, honey, because you're 9 months pregnant at the time, and KeKe, Stormy, and Tisha felt the need to address it again. And you were really trying to reason with KeKe once again that there isn't an issue that you guys have. And when she said, let me educate you on something, you said, you got to educate me on that.
What are you going to educate me on? Please. Like, what? You were a teacher. Why aren't you teaching anymore? Why isn't she teaching, Carlos? Because she wanted to become an entrepreneur. That's what she said. But she hasn't started the business yet. It's been a few years. But she wants to educate me on something. Okay. Let's see how this goes.
Do you think KeKe has a hard-on for you because
I just told you she might actually like women, and the hard-on might be a little, she might have a little toy down there, okay?
But do you, this is by far the shadiest interview I have done thus far this season with my Love and Marriage cast. I literally can't even ask a question because I want to scream and laugh and eat popcorn. So, but do you think some of that has to do with you are a great opponent because you give it back?
On the education portion? I mean, I have been known to try to educate Marceau, and then I became like a divorce expert. So, maybe she thinks she's gonna give it back to me. She's gonna educate me on a thing or two. I don't know what.
Lord Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, Tiffany Whitlow. Okay. So after that exchange, we see you and Sheree talk. Now, you are a bad mama jamma. Because let me ask you this. I'm assuming, but I don't want to assume, you have seen Atlanta Housewives, correct?
I knew who she was.
You knew who she was. And you know Sheree is a tough woman, correct?
Absolutely.
You've known Sheree has shifted a wig or two, correct?
Well, I don't wear wigs. I definitely wasn't worried about a wig or two, but I actually didn't know that, but I'm not really worried.
What made you want to have a conversation with Sheree?
Because I've been the new girl and and I know she obviously is a subject matter expert. She's been on reality TV, got that. But this is a whole different group, and this group is very interesting. On New Year's, Martell did text Lou and invited us to Atlanta to come to Sheree's New Year's party with all of them. And we couldn't go. I'm obviously very pregnant. I'm like, I'm not drinking. Lou was in the bed at midnight. So we didn't go. So I was like, oh, thank you so much for the olive branch. Thank you so much for inviting us. Can we sit down? Can I get to know you? I'm just going to go straight to the goal. Like, why would I cut all around the corners and ask all these weird questions? It's like, get straight to it. How's it feel? How are you? Is life Gucci, and how's it feel like, dating somebody who cheated before? Maybe I could have asked the question differently. Maybe. You saw her pause. You saw her like, did this just ask me this? Like, the audacity from this girl right here, this pregnant girl. She probably at that point was like, what's her name again? Like, who is this? But you saw she gave it right back to me. She answered the question briefly and then quickly was like, well, I also watch your show. Oh, you watched Love and Marriage Huntsville, Sheree. Okay, that's cute. You watched it before Martell, because that was a minute ago that aired. So thank you.
Yeah. No, Sheree is a fan of the show. So I will say that because I'm friends with Sheree. Sheree has watched Love and Marriage Huntsville since season 1. So when she said she watches the show, I was not caught off guard, wrong word to use. I was surprised because I was reminded that, oh my gosh, she does know who Tiffany is because I keep forgetting she actually is a fan of the show. She watches the show. So when you were questioning her about, he's a cheater, Is there any sort of trepidation with that? What was the mood like? And for a split second, because I really want to know your where your confidence comes from when it comes to asking questions, because I feel like you do my job so well, because I'm the same way. I like to get to it and just go there with the questioning. Were you nervous? Did you feel any uncomfortableness on her part? Because to sit across from Sheree Whitfield could be intimidating. Were you intimidated by any moment?
I mean, I feel like congratulations to every woman that is successful. We need more successful Black women in this world. So I'm not going to sit here and be intimidated by you because you're successful, because you've been doing this. She's been doing this for a lot longer. Obviously, she's a veteran. So when in reality TV world, like, I understand I'm sitting here next to someone who can take me down in 1 second. Like, I already know that. So that's even more of the reason just to like cut all the way straight to the chase. How does it feel? Martell's reputation at this time is also like a cheater. So I'm going to use that word because that is a word that fans have used. That's a word that people have used. It's a word that people in the show have used. Mel uses that word, right? So I don't even know what else I would call him, because I don't relation with Martell at that level.
When you mentioned the cheating, Sheree then said, "Well, I watched the show. You cheated too." What was your immediate reaction to that?
Um, it really doesn't matter, and I have changed and evolved. And so if her answer is, once a cheater, now you're not, then that's perfectly fine. But I was just asking her for her opinion. How does it feel? How do you, Sheree, feel about Martell? Not how do you feel about me, or why you want to compare the situation to what I did. But
When the conversation then turned to you mentioning, "Oh, you must put the P word down." Tiffany,
I
listen.
mean, because there are reasons that people cheat, and obviously Martell cheated. He had a baby with somebody else. Like, obviously that's a reason, right? I mean, he's openly talked about, I needed it, I wanted more, da 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 da. So I'm just saying, if that's what he said before, I'm just assuming that you must put the down real good, like, because you're gonna hold him down and he gonna stay right here. That's it. It was more of a statement. Like, I wasn't expecting her to answer anything.
So what we did see tonight is, so after you said that, Sheree put her drink down. She did a pause. She exhaled, and then the rest is history.
Well, to know Tiffany is to know pause, breathe, go. So sometimes you got to force the pause. Whew. She got to breathe and then go execute.
Tiffany, I adore you. So then Sheree goes and tells Martell what you said. And that's how the episode ends. And Martell looks very surprised. Without giving too much away, next week we see that Martell and Marceau talk to you about your line of questioning with Sheree, and it is a scene full of comedy and errors. Talk to us, but tease it, don't give too much away, about what they can expect when that conversation gets brought to you.
You can expect for two grown ass men to leave this table and have a follow up conversation with my grown ass, sexy ass chocolate at home. Because how fucking dare you sit here and talk to me the way that you do?
And
And
let's
and I'm pretty sure that a follow up conversation didn't start with a phone call from Martell calling me to say, "Hey, I need to talk to you about what Sheree said." I'm pretty sure he acted like it had to do with business. Do you not know how to conduct business?
and let's just say Tiffany holds her own. Tiffany, you are a gangster.
I just cannot. That's like pre delivery. I imagine my baby's hungry now because my food is.
No, Tiffany, what I say to you, I've said this publicly. I'm sure you may have seen it. this is your best season. It's the season of Tiffany. Because for me, I felt like your first season, obviously everybody's first season, you're just there, you're being yourself. And then afterwards, like you said, it's hard to be on any show and being in the public eye where you are receiving so much vitriol from people and hate from people. And it does sort of take a toll on you. And then I felt like you went through this phase, not a long one, but a quick one, where you were just trying to find your way within this group and within like you said, should I say, like, questioning, like, should I say that? Should I be that? Because, you know, the social media can sometimes take a toll on your spirit. And I'm happy to report that you have risen from the ashes. And who would have thought at 9 months pregnant,
Woo!
you would be at your best? And I give you all the kudos and credit for that. You are super refreshing. You're super funny. And you definitely know how to shake a table. And it's what's so fascinating about you this season. And what's crazy is y'all have yet to see everything. Like, it's more to come. But I feel like it's your best season. Do you feel that way too?
I do. I mean, but those ratings that first season were good, Carlos. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I just kept reading about Tiffany and then Tiffany and Tiffany and Tiffany. Like, damn, Carlos has to be able to happy about something. No, I'm just playing. Yes, I am. I am very excited. I can't even say much more without giving away what people can expect for the rest of the season, but it doesn't slow down.
You don't slow down.
All the way around, I don't slow down. You're very right. You're very right.
No, so first of all, I just want to say this to you. Congratulations on beautiful baby Ace. I know that, you know, this was a very quick pregnancy because you did everything to get pregnant and was pregnant within a month. So congratulations. He's a beautiful baby boy. You guys will get to see him later this season. But I'm so happy that you decided to come back to the show because you are definitely the spice. You're the spice.
I love it. I always wanted to be Scary Spice from Spice Girls. Like, oh my gosh, if you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends. Yes, like I promise you. So I love that. Thank you.
No, listen, you are definitely the Scary Spice of Huntsville.
Oh.
I don't know if you know this. When you film with people, because I know the cast, they look at you like, what is she about to say? Like, they be like, what is Miss Tiffany gonna say now? You are the Scary Spice.
All right. Well, you better watch out. You better watch out.
Watch out. Tiffany, thank you so much for hopping on the podcast. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. I'm so happy with everything you got going on this season. Let us know what you have going on and how they can find you, follow you, and support you.
Of course, I'm always on Now Included. That's our platform. We're reaching people to overcome health disparities. So that's nowincluded.com. That's Tiffany Whitlow on Instagram, YouTube, all of the things. It's not really hard to find. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Carlos, tell them. Yes.
Tiffany, I love you. I thank you so much for taking time out while you're out of town handling business and a baby.
Yes.
So I'm going to let you go, and then I'll see you soon, my love.
Thank you so much.